Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Tyree from On the Hot Podcast. Today, this will be the combat series episode number 6. Of course, this episode is going to be coming out on all 4 of our platforms: our Instagram account, our Facebook account, our YouTube account, and our Apple Podcast account. So let's go ahead and dive into the first segment. I'll be sharing my thoughts on the latest UFC pay-per-view, UFC 290. I'll be sharing my thoughts on the main card of the spectacular pay-per-view event. So the card was incredible. I thought Dana White and the UFC put together a great pay-per-view over the last weekend, Saturday night in the world of UFC. It was a great international card that had a lot of international fighters coming from different countries, representing their different countries. And they did it in well fashion. Whether it was a win or a lose, they all put together a great, spectacular pay-per-view this past Saturday in the world of UFC. So, honorable mention, even though this particular fighter fought on the undercard before the main card got started, my honorable mention is Robbie Lawler, ending his UFC career on a high note, getting the victory by knockout in his final fight in the UFC. On the other card, Robbie Lawler won his final fight in a matter of 38 seconds in the first round, closing out his UFC career in spectacular fashion. You always want to go out, if you're an athlete, you always want to go out on your shield. You always want to go out with a win. You always want to go out a bang. And that's exactly what Robbie Lawler did, winning by the first round via knockout in 38 seconds Saturday night against Nico Prince. Robbie Lawler finished his career at UFC at 41 years of age. He went 30-16 in his respective UFC careers. A former welterweight champion and had a great UFC career. So Robbie Lawler gets to ride off to the sunset with a great bang and a great way to go out in the UFC. So then we move on to the main card. We saw Dricus Du Plessis. He earned himself a middleweight championship fight down the line against Israel Adesanya that will be taking place, I do believe, very, very soon by the end of the year in 2023 in the UFC world. So he earned his shot at the middleweight championship. Dricus Du Plessis defeated Robert Whittaker by knockout in the second round in impressive fashion. I was not expecting that. I thought Dricus Du Plessis was the underdog heading into this fight. He proved me wrong. He proved the world of UFC wrong. A lot of people out there in the UFC world thought he was going to lose. He put the middleweight division on notice, and especially put the middleweight champion Israel Adesanya on notice. So Dricus Du Plessis is 20-2. It's well deserved middleweight championship, the fight that he's gonna get in my opinion, by the end of 2023 against Israel Adesanya. And the fireworks, the build to the fight has already started. After Dricus Du Plessis won the fight, Israel Adesanya got in the ring. The two were exchanging words. I'm not going to say drop the N-bomb, but Israel Adesanya was saying, "I will show you where you came from, my African brother." And the fireworks are already there. The throwing shade, throwing shots at each other. Dricus Du Plessis already was throwing shade at Israel Adesanya, saying that he's not a real champion. He doesn't respect himself in a championship manner. So when that fight comes, I expect the press conference to be hot. I expect a banger in that octagon when they two meet. But Dricus Du Plessis got the victory and is going to get a middleweight championship fight very soon. Then heading up into the co-main event, we saw Alexandre Poirier defeated Brandon Moreno by split decision, become the new flyweight champion. I thought this was the fight of the night. This fight went all 5 rounds and went all the way to the judges' scorecards. It was a very competitive fight in the flyweight division. You can see raw emotion being poured out of Alexandre Poirier after winning the flyweight championship. It was a well-deserved moment. He had a great moment in the octagon when his name was called and announced as the new flyweight champion. Him and his team had a great moment in the octagon celebrating that victory together. I thought that was really cool. In my opinion, as great as that fight was, and I do believe that was the fight of the night on the UFC 290 main card, I don't think that the split decision was the right decision. I thought the way I scored, I thought Alexandre Poirier won the fight without any controversy. I thought he could have won by unanimous decision or majority decision. But I don't think that there's any reason for those two fighters to fight each other again. I don't expect a rematch. Alexandre Poirier has already defeated Brandon Morane now for a third time, so I expect the two respective fighters to go their own ways, and we'll see what Alexandre Poirier can do as the flyweight champion when his first defense comes. And then in the main event, we saw Alexander Volkovich. Let me say that again. Alexander Volkovich divide the featherweight titles against Yair Rodriguez, but winning that fight by KO in the third round. Alexander, I will say this, and I'm going to put it together for you guys very soon because, as you guys know, I've done my pound per pound in men's boxing. I got to do my pound per pound list in UFC. But if I'm going off the top of my head, Alexander Volkovich is in my top 5. That's a spoiler. He's very legit in that octagon. He's doing one hell of a job in his UFC career thus far. And he passed the test for me, unifying the featherweight titles with the impressive knockout win against Yair Rodriguez Saturday night at UFC 290. That's going to be a great win on his resume as well. Alexander Volkovich, he did announce, Alexander Volkovich announced that after the fight he would be having surgery to take care of an arm injury, but he is saying that he expects himself to be back in the octagon by the end of 2023. So we shall see. I'm looking forward to his next title for defense, but those are my thoughts on the international card, the international flavor that UFC 290 presented this past Saturday, and in the world of UFC.